Hey guys, welcome to Study Scoopers again. So today we are gonna complete our chapter. We have something which is still left. So today we'll just complete this chapter. So before we start our chapter, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you keep on getting the updates when I post my new videos. And if you like this video and the explanation, don't forget to hit a like. So let's begin. So today we are gonna learn the final part of crop production and management. So you would have been remembering what we have learned in the last two parts, right? In the first part, we discussed about the three types of crops, which is the Kharif, Rabi and Zaid crops. And in the second part, we discussed about the 8 agriculture processes which the farmers goes to get the ripe crops. So in this part, we have some more things which are left. So let's discuss to it. So first thing is the crop rotation. Now what is this crop rotation? It is a process, it is a practice of growing this same series, the series of different crops in the same area. So when many types of crops are grown in a same area, we call it as a crop rotation. For example, so what happens is these plants you could see, right? In the roots you could see some small type of balls. So this is a bacteria which is called as a rhizobium bacteria. So what does this rhizobium bacteria do is it helps in the fixing of atmospheric nitrogen and add it to the soil. So nitrogen is one of the gas which is so important for the plants and they need this. So the roots which contains rhizobium bacteria are called as leguminous roots. So what happens is these type of plants contains nitrogen, which are essential for the plants, and examples of them are like pulses, beans and peas and etc. Okay, so what happens is these rhizobium bacteria are grown in the Kharif crops category, which is the rainy season crops. Okay, and these weeds are being grown in the Rabi crops, which is the winter crops. So what happens is now these the crops, leguminous plants, are grown in the first thing, right? After them only these weeds will be grown, because these are the nitrogenous plants and these are the Kharif crops which are grown in rainy season. So these will be grown before, and after them only we can grow wheat. So what happens in this is there is a in the field, like first we grow pulses and beans, okay, and next in the same field, when these pulses and beans are harvested, we grow the wheat. So what happens now is, so the farmers, what they do is they in the rainy season, they sow a crop of which contains rhizobium bacteria, and these rhizobium bacteria, the plants which contains rhizobium bacteria are called as leguminous plants. So first these farmers, they sow the seeds of these leguminous plants so that they give the nitrogen to the soil, as leguminous plants are the plants which give nitrogen. They doesn't take nitrogen, whereas all the other plants except for leguminous plants take nitrogen. So what do these plants do is they are being grown in the first season so that they give nitrogen to the soil, and when the second plant is grown, so that it takes the nitrogen from the soil, and then again a leguminous plant will be grown, again a normal crop will be grown, and like that the process goes on. So this is called as a crop rotation, and it's a practice of growing the series of different types of crops in the same area. So I guess you would have been understanding this. So now let's go to the second thing. So now what will happen is, when it happens, there is no nitrogen deficiency in the soil. So now let's go to the second thing, which is multiple cropping. So what does they do in this multiple cropping is, it's a method of growing 2 or more types of crops in the same field at the same time. So in the crop rotation, it will be grown after one crop is being harvested. In this, they grow 2 types of crop at the same time. So, but when they grow these 2 types of crops in the same time, there are some disadvantages for the farmers, some problems, some difficulties for the farmers which they are facing. Those are they can't provide the supply of fertilizers, and in harvesting they'll have a problem, the farmers, and it yields lower the quality of crops. So if the crops have been scattered here and there, farmers will face many difficulties, right, for harvesting, for supplying the fertilizers, and it even yields the quality of the crops. So for this there is another method. So now we have to know what is the method, right? So that method is the intercropping. Now what is this intercropping? It's defined as growing different types of crop as a definite pattern. So in this what they do is, the plants have been scattered everywhere, so that they face the difficulties. But in this what they do is, they are being arranged in a row by making rows. So they have been arranged in a row. For example, you could see over here, this is the example of the multiple cropping, in which you could see sorghum is a plant, and here pigeon pea is a plant. Okay, so in this every plants are being scattered everywhere, whereas in the second picture when you see, they are being arranged in a row. So what happens is, farmers won't be facing any difficulties in this method, whereas they'll face many difficulties in multiple cropping. So better than that, they go for the intercropping. Now we have the nitrogen cycle, which is how the plants get nitrogen. Okay, so this is the most important thing in this agriculture, in this protection and production and management. So let's know this now. So the nitrogen cycle takes up with 5 processes, which is the nitrogen fixation, nitrogen assimilation, ammonification, nitrification, and denitrification. So let's know the 5 steps step by step. So first let's know what is nitrogen fixation. So it's a process where the nitrogen gas is being converted into nitrates. So nitrogen. So when we go with these process, from denitrification to nitrogen fixation only, it is a process where this nitrogen has been converted into nitrates. So after these nitrates, the nitrogen has been converted into nitrates. In the nitrates assimilation, what happens is, plants absorb these nitrates. So when plants absorb these nitrates have been absorbed by the plants, right, and it is being converted into plant protein. And when animal eat these plants, the animal protein has been converted into, the plant protein has been converted into animal protein. So what happens is, in the nitrogen fixation, the nitrogen is converted into nitrites, and in the second thing, the plants absorb these nitrites and they convert their protein into plant protein. And when the herbivorous animal eat these plants, they convert the plant protein into animal protein. So now in this nitrogen assimilation, it has been converted into plant proteins and animal proteins. Now in ammonification, what happens is, plants and animal proteins converted into ammonium compound by purifying bacteria. So now we have these animal proteins by when the animal eat the plants, they have been converted into animal proteins, and the leftover plants will also be there, right? So these plant protein and animal protein together forms ammonium compound, this ammonium compound is being formed by the purifying bacteria. So now ammonification is done. Now we have to go for the nitrification. So what happens in this nitrification is, the ammonium compound is also called as salt. Okay, so the ammonium compound bind the nitrites. Now this was in the nitrogen fixation we have the nitrates, but in this we have the nitrites. So the ammonium compound by the nitrosomonas bacteria are converted into nitrites, and by the nitrites have been converted into again the nitrates by the nitrobacteria. So you would have been getting some confusion. So what happens over here is, in nitrogen fixation, the nitrogen has been converted into nitrates, but in this nitrification, the ammonium compounds, which is also called as salt, ammonium salt, is converted into nitrites. In that they were converted into nitrates. In this they have been converted into nitrites by the nitrosomonas bacteria, and these nitrites are then converted into nitrates again by the nitrobacteria. So now the last process which goes here is the denitrification. So what happens in this is, now the nitrates into the free nitrogen gas by the denitrifying bacteria. So now these nitrates are being converted into the nitrogen gas by the denitrifying bacteria. So here in ammonification and nitrification and denitrification, we have some bacteria which convert it into another thing. So if you memorize this cycle, the nitrogen cycle, you will be surely clear like how do these plants get these nitrogens, which is the most important thing in this. So now we have completed the nitrogen cycle 2. Now let's go to the next part, which is the animal husbandry. So it is a process, it is a branch of agriculture concerned with animals that are raised for meats, fibers, milk, eggs or other process. It includes day-to-day care for them. Okay, so it is a process where we people take care of these animals to get our daily products such as meat, milk, fiber, eggs and other products. So we have some 3 categories of these animals. The first one is the milch animal, which gives us milk, is called as a milch animal. So for example, we have cow, we have the cow milk, buffalo milk and goat. These all gives us milk, right? So these animals are called as the milch animals, so give milk. And there are meat and egg giving animals which gives eggs and meat. For example, pig, cattle and hen. And the third thing is the drought animals, which are also called as the working animals. For example, we have bull, camel and horse. So you could see at the first picture and the second picture. The second picture, this was only the method of Rahat 2. In the part 2 we have learned it. You would have been remembering if you have seen it. So these are the drought animals. So now let's boom our mind again with the questions. So today we'll be getting 2 questions and the answer also will be given, and the answers of part 1 and 2 will also be given in this boom time today. So the 2 boom questions of today are, the first one is the doctors who examine animals, and the second is plants have rhizobium bacteria, are also known as dash plants. So the answers of the part 1, 2 and 3, the third part also you are gonna get the answers. So at the part 1 we had 2 questions, the first one and the second one. So the answer of those are, the first one is, what type of tree is used in the symbol of RBI? The answer is the palm tree. And the second is, who was the father of the Green Revolution in India? It was Mr. M.S. Swaminathan. It was the questions of the first and the first part. And for the second part, we have the 3 questions, the third, fourth and the fifth one. The third one, dash government agency undertakes the procurement of wheat and paddy. It was the FCI. The full form of FCI is Food Corporation of India. The fourth one was MSP stands for, it is minimum support price. And the fifth one is, what type of crop is present in the FCI symbol? It's the wheat crop, which comes under the category of rabi crop. The sixth question is, doctor who examine animals, it is veterinary doctor. And the sixth and the seventh one are the answers of the part 3, which is going now. And the seventh question is, plants have rhizobium bacteria, are also known as dash plants. It's the leguminous plants. So thank you guys, thanks a lot. We have completed our part 1, 2 and 3, and we have completed the chapter, 8th grade chapter, crop prediction and management. If you like this video, please like our video, and please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you keep on getting updates when we press our new videos. So thanks a lot guys, thanks a lot. So we'll see you at the further upcoming videos. Thank you.